What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. That was extra wiggly. In this one, I'm going to be showing you how to make Ollie's bargain outlet. If you're not familiar with this is a store. I've never been to one. I don't even know if there's any in my area. But yeah, here it is in all of its bargainness. I don't know. And yeah, that's kind of all, I'd suppose. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Wow, that is a short ceiling. Short as opposed to most other store tutorials, to be clear, not in general. Anyway, here are all the materials you'll be needing for this build. The plants are separate because they're kind of just my choice, but I figured I'd add them in this time because it's kind of more specific, and I'll explain why when we get there. Alright, yeah, and the space for me for this is a 95 by 62. I am bothered by how far to the left I put that 95, by the way. And the materials we're needing to start off are as follows. Gray concrete, birch planks, deep slate tiles, red concrete, smooth quartz blocks, mud, polished blackstone, black stained glass, and dark oak doors. This build is symmetrical other than the logo, so if you need to build it from or start from the front right, you can. However, I'm going to start from the front left-hand corner of your 95 by 62 grid. Cough, cough if you made it. And you want to start by counting back by 8. And right by 1 and going right, you're going to start with 15 gray concrete. Also, as a side note, if you really want to go through this and plow through, you can do both sides simultaneously. You just have to mark out the space and hope that you're right while you do that. That is another problem. On top of that gray, you're going to place 3 rows of birch planks, 1 row of deep slate tiles, and then 2 rows of red concrete. I tried to go with something a little fancier for this, and I figured why not add the red in, because I kind of thought it needed a little splash of something other than just gray, white, and beige. From this end gray, the right one, you're going to extend forward diagonally right, right, back diagonally right, right by 6, forward diagonally right, right, back diagonally right, right 6, and then forward diagonally right 1. Each of the rows of 2 gray, including the 1 over there, you're going to bring up with 3 smooth quartz, deep slate tile, which would be 1, 2 smooth quartz, 1 mud, and then 3 smooth quartz. Just like so. Again, if you need reiteration, 3 quartz, I'm doing both simultaneously, why not? Deep slate tile, 2 quartz, mud, and then 3 quartz. As we fill in the center, this will get a little bit easier. Because each of the grays you're going to bring up with... yeah, sure, we'll do it that way. 3 birch, deep slate tile, and then 4 birch. A couple of these birch will be blocked off. However, that is fine. If you're doing an interior for this or plan to, I would actually flatten this wall, which only really matters from the inside. Basically what I mean is just connecting kind of behind these pillars with the gray and the birch, and then above the deep slate tile, I don't know, just cry about it. You'll just have to have the red on the one side. Or you could technically carry through the birch, but and replace that with birch, but then you kind of just lose the line, because you wouldn't need it at that point. The line is to split up the colors, but it's up to you. Anyway, from these rows of mud, you're going to go kind of in front of this birch. I guess you'll just take the top corners of birch and place a mud in front of each one. Bring those muds towards each other by 1. You'll then go up diagonally in and connect together. And I will fill above those with smooth quartz to the height of the other smooth quartz. Just like so. The deep slate tile row is kind of in the center of the birch. I'll bring forward by 1 just to flatten that out. I think that'll look better, especially once we get the stairs on. it'll just kind of gel a little better. Anyway, from the furthest right gray, you want to go forward diagonally right, forward 2, right 3, then right with a polished blackstone, which I'm actually going to bring back by 1. I want to put the framing in the glass. You'll extend right from that with 2 glass, polished blackstone, glass, 2 dark oak doors, glass, polished blackstone, glass, 2 dark oak doors, black glass, polished blackstone, 2 glass, and then another polished blackstone. With the exception of that furthest left one, because we already did, each polished blackstone you'll bring forward by 1. Then you'll bring each polished blackstone up by 3, and each black glass also up by 3, which would include overtop the doors with the top 2 glass, like so. Hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I don't think I said that yet. I am for the most part. I already forgot. It's been 6 minutes and I've forgotten. Kind of embarrassing. Cool. I'm going to get rid of actually all 3 of the materials we were just using, the blackstone, glass, and door, and get out polished blackstone slabs, deep side tile stairs, and the infamous pale oak shelf. I don't know why it's infamous, it just is. Over top of the, not top row of glass, but one down, you'll place upside down polished blackstone slabs, kind of crossing like so. We're going to skip the center for now, and then we're going to actually build up the right the same that we did the left, and then we'll come back to the middle and fill that up fully. I forgot a material on the material list. You need smooth quartz slabs. Right of this bottom polished blackstone, you'll place 4 gray. Extend back by 2. This little corner is useless, not actually, but we're going to leave it open as we did the other side. And if you remember how to do that side, absolutely go for it. You don't need my instruction. If you do, I will instruct it again. From this back gray, go back diagonally right 2. Right 6. Forward diagonally right. Right. Back diagonally right. Right 6. Forward diagonally right, right, back diagonally right, and then right by 14. Each of the rows of 1 or 2 gray you will bring up with 3 smooth quartz, a deep side tile, 2 quartz, mud, and then 3 quartz. It's almost symmetrical. Only, I guess, thing that makes it asymmetrical or not symmetrical is the mud versus deep side tile, which is kind of tragic when you think about it. Anyway, you should have this. I'm going to do the same thing, or I'm going to start with the mud here. I'll bring each mud up diagonally in the mud. In 1. Whoopsies. Up diagonally in 1, and then connect together from there. On top of these rows of gray within the arches, you can just fill it with full birch, but I'm going to do the 3 birch, 1 deep side tile, and then the birch to the top from there. Just to keep it consistent. Okay, that's great. These tutorials are always fun because I'm like to record because I never know if it'll be 20 minutes or 40, you know, like or like even an hour. It's always just a dice roll. You'll fill in again the kind of tops of the arches with the smooth quartz, just above the mud, and then I'll bring these deep set tile rows forward to make it flush. And then on this outer row of gray, you'll place your 3 birch rows, the 1 row of deep set tiles, and then the 2 rows of red concrete. I don't know when we're going to place the stairs. We'll probably place them once we do this center section, or at least do the part for it. You'll see. That should give you that, though, and that should be symmetrical. Cool. Still kind of just the bare bones, funnily enough. These little angles of gray that I called useless earlier, I'm sorry for doing that to you, gray concrete. You'll bring up with 3 smooth quartz. Yeah, just that for now, actually. That's fine. You can then place deep slate tiles on top. The reason that I waited to say that, though, is because you want to connect it over top the kind of, like, entrance. And I will bring it back a row so it's on top of this black glass, but that's kind of a personal choice. I just, you know, looks like that. From the outermost polished blackstones on this doorway, you're going to count to the third block in front and place a gray concrete. From those grays, I'm going to count out by 3 and back by 1 and place another gray. Extend each of those gray concretes up with 3 smooth quartz. And I'm going to do 2 things from that top smooth quartz. I'm going to place a pale oak shelf in front of each one. And also a deep slate tile on top of the smooth quartz, not the shelf. I will almost essentially just connect these deep slate tiles left to right between the pillars that are at the same kind of, or the same position. So like these front ones I'll connect and the ones behind I'll also connect. And then I'll bring that back row of deep slate tiles back with another row. Nope, that's not right. You don't want it to stick out or anything. You just kind of want it like that. You then wrap the row of deep slate tiles we've been doing this entire time that all should be in line with upside down deep slate tiles stairs. I will place it to the sides as well. You kind of see what I did there of the build. But make sure they just all connect like this and, you know, kind of flow nicely. But what I said before was just like on the sides where the kind of red is, I'm just gonna do this. I'll extend it over by 1 and then just bring it back. Just to kind of preemptively get set for the backside. Cool. From the sides now, I'm going to take these arches, and on both sides, I'm going to take this bottom smooth quartz and extend forward diagonally in with another smooth quartz. I'll then extend forward by 2 and out by, or I guess in by 1 rather. And then I'm going to go back diagonally in with a birch plank that I will connect to the other side. Again, no, I'm going to wait actually to fill that one. You can get rid of your red concrete. Sure, I already said it. And get out smooth quartz slabs. And before we do that, bring each smooth quartz block here on these sides up with 1 smooth quartz, 1 mud, and then 5 smooth quartz. Just like so. This was really one of those like trust the process builds. When I just had the center, it looked so weird. Like just this section that I'm actively doing, it just did not look right. But once I got the arches, it definitely kind of came together a little bit more. Anyway, the mud we won't actually need anymore. You can get rid of, I guess, that and the polished blackstone slabs and get out polished deep slate and polished deep slate stairs. And from the smooth quartz, the second one above the mud here on both sides, you'll extend in with an upside down slab of smooth quartz. You'll then extend up with a block, in with an upside down slab, up with a block, in with a block, in with 2 upside down slabs, up with a block, in by 3 with also blocks, in with 1 upside down slab, and then you'll connect together with what should be 3 polished deep slate in the center. The center polished deep slate will be brought down by 1, and I'll place an upside down stair off either side of it that should face away. These kind of funny little top corners I'll just fill in with smooth quartz, like so. And then this center section, I'll just bring the birch planks up to fill this entirely in. This place also has that, like, I don't know, some dude on their logo on the front. I would have added that, but I just was not about to deal with that, because I would have also, with the way that I made the letters, have to make the spacing a lot bigger, and proportionately that just wouldn't work, really. But, you know, you could even try to fit them on one of the arches. I should have done that. That would have been funny. Anyway, you can clear your inventory and get out the following. You just want mangrove planks, mangrove stairs, and mangrove slabs. My goodness. Sorry, I don't know why my voice is like this. Take the bottom left birch plank and count up diagonally right by 1 and place an upside down mangrove stair facing left. Right of it, 2 planks. Upside down stair facing right. Either stair I'll bring up with a plank and then another stair that should face outwards. Connect those top stairs together with planks, and you would want a set of stairs on the inside of this all facing towards the center. Bottom left, it'll face right. Bottom right, it'll face right. Top right, it'll be upside down and facing left. Top left, upside down and facing right. Which will make it look significantly more like a donut. From the bottom right of that, you're counting right 2. 4 planks extending up. Bottom one, you're bringing right an additional 1. Copy that again. So gap of 1 right at the bottom of that. 4 planks up, bottom 1 brought right. From the bottom, you'll leave a gap of 1 going right. 2 planks going up. A slab on top, and then another plank above that. Gap of 1 from the bottom of that. 4 planks extending up. The bottom and top ones you'll bring right by 1 each. And then you'll kind of place a couple slabs in the center here between them. So from this bottom plank of these 2, I'll place an upside down slab right. From the top one, a regular slab to the right. What is going on with that? I don't know if that'll be visible on the video. But if you look at the like edges of the blocks, there's just like some weird lighting going on. Huh, that's strange. 1 block gap from the bottom of that, you'll go right with 2 planks. Upside down stair facing right. Plank on top. Upside down slab to the left. Slab on top. Plank to the left. Or, yes. Stair on top facing left. That was why I got confused. And then 2 planks to the right. Between the S and the E, the last 2 letters, you'll take this top birch between them, count up 1, and place an upside down stair facing left. Specifically left, because you see if you place it right, it'll actually connect into the E, and if you place it the other way, the kind of corner of the S that is taken out there will give it some space to breathe. Cool, that should say Ollie's. And that's the name of the storm. Before we do the back and kind of get the rest sorted out, get out the following. Dark oak shelves and whatever you would like to use for some greenery. Keep in mind these shelves are going to block the bottom block of it, so you might want to go for some 2 tall things. But I did go with azalea and oak leaves as 1 tall. And if you did pay attention at the beginning, you would have seen tall grass, bamboo, and big drip leaves. So in each of these kind of smooth quartz arches, a block forward from the bottom, I'm going to kind of connect them together with dark oak shelves. Like so. You can see it just kind of like rests 1 row in front of the bottom gray of the arches, kind of the birch of the arches. It doesn't really connect together. You could technically like bring it across here, but I didn't. And then in the back, you'll kind of just do a combination of whatever you want. I'd go with a couple of just 1 blockers, like again, the azalea and the oak leaves, and then just maybe take the bamboo 3 tall, drip leaf 2, you'll have the tall grass, and I'll go, I guess I'll go another grass here, actually. Kind of just do whatever you so choose. Fun fact, if you noticed on my original, you probably didn't, because it's not noticeable. But I actually mirrored the build, so the the plants on both sides are the same, just opposites pretty much. So like for example, on this side, if I have the bamboo here, it would be on the inner arch, on the other side it'd be on this row, which would be closer, or I guess further away from the center. It's not really important, I just thought I'd mention it because it's funny, and I'm curious if anybody actually picked up on that. Not really something you would be looking at, but you know, but just something like that, you know, just to give it some greenery and some variation. Anyway, you can clear your inventory and get out the following. Gray concrete, birch planks, deep slate tiles, deep slate tile stairs, red concrete, and smooth quartz blocks, and that should be everything we'll need to finish the build. So I'm going to start by laying out the bottom. For the gray here, these kind of birch and red walls, you're bringing these back by whatever amount you see fit. For me, I did 52 back, is that correct? Yes, that is correct. So 52 back from the bottom gray, and then I'll connect together at the back and, you know, whatever, join back to the other corner. I forgot I wanted to add a loading dock on this one, and I just didn't. That's good. I would lay out the gray like this, and then just kind of look from above. And again, if you're making the interior, figure out, okay, is that too big? Is that too small? What am I feeling, you know? I personally found this to be a reasonable size. Obviously, I didn't actually make an interior, so that tends to be the difference maker between, or on how far back the back wall will go. Generally, for me, the front is going to be set, regardless. Here's just a fun tip for interior building, and just building in general, the front is the important side. So essentially, if you're doing anything, by the way, you can fill up these walls to that height with the birch and deep set and red and whatever, including the stairs going around the perimeter. Just that'll give me another second to yap. But you want to kind of lay out the front and get the front design set and figured out. And then kind of just start punching away the interior before you close off the full thing. You can maybe mark out the sides, but even for something like this, like maybe if you needed to, you could bring the birch and deep slate out more, or these, like, you know, shorter walls out more. I would hope you wouldn't. I mean, 90 blocks is a lot of space, but just to kind of give you some bit of variation, or again, change if you need it. But I generally will lay out the full front and then just kind of build the walls back on the sides as far back as I think it would need to go. And then I just leave the back open until the full thing is done. And then from there I kind of just, you know, go about my business, filling it in once the interior is complete. Sometimes I don't, though. Like, sometimes I'm kind of specific with it. I think Taco Bell was a refresh one that I didn't do that for. I don't even remember if I did for the Church's Chicken. I know that wasn't refresh, but I feel like I did, but I also feel like I didn't. I don't know. Was that the really weird interior? There was one recently. I don't know if it was that or Taco Bell or something that was like really weirdly laid out. I don't feel like it was Church's Chicken, but it all blends together. Anyway, you should have this. Keep in mind as we're doing this that the bottom row that is sticking above for each of these sections will end up getting covered up because we're going to have stairs on top. So, if you take the sides, because we don't need the mud here, it would just be the top 3 smooth courts. You'll bring back by really whatever you find as the number. I went back with 10. Just like so. For these kind of lower sections. And I'm just going to take the furthest outsides for now. Because the top middle section, you should already have 3 rows in total of thickness. But I brought it back by also 10, actually. And then you can join this one together. I thought I had this one further back, but I don't. So you can end up connecting the lower section together just fully across the back here. And again, when you lay it out, you'll see that it is 1 block further back than the other smooth courts. If you want the other one further back, you can. I think that also look cool, but it's up to you. Now, on each top smooth quartz block or red concrete, you're placing deep set tiles. And then you probably can guess the next step from there. More stairs. Yippee, always more stairs. They never end. So yeah, once you get all of them, I'm just going to do one at a time. And then you'll place the upside down deep set tile stairs going around. I ended up for this lower section, I wanted this to line up with the mud, and as you can see, it does, so. Kind of 2 gray strips going on that are around the full build. It's always something that I try to play around with whenever I'm doing these kinds of things, is just not even necessarily just like getting things to line up, but just having like certain elements that go through most of the build, just to kind of make it flow a little bit better. Like, I think that looks very nice having those 2 lined up there. But you know. This was definitely one of those store tutorials that I kind of just went and had fun with. Sometimes I kind of just like, whatever, get it done, you know, build it, but I tried to do something different here, as I think is fairly obvious. And, yeah. I think it turned out well. Definitely a different one. Maybe for some it's not your preferred kind of style, but kind of weird finding that line between modern and not. Anyway, it should look like this, and then from there you're just filling in all your ceilings with deep set tiles. If you do /fill for these, make sure you do keep, at least for the lowest one, because if you don't, it will cut straight through the birch, and that's not really ideal. I don't think you do for this one need it, but I'm gonna anyway. But, like, it is always weird, because there are, especially as you look through at a certain build, like for this one, for example, you're gonna find a lot of different versions of it out there that are, like, modern or old or whatever, just like classic, you know, that are in whatever different cities or wherever. So I was always trying to, actually, will this guy, oh no, it wouldn't, right, because I didn't fill the blocks first, or I didn't put the stairs around first, so I would have filled the blocks from the corners, so it shouldn't, actually. I'm still gonna do keep, because I always do, just because I know it will absolutely destroy something. But anyway, once you're done that, ladies and gentlemen, that is your Ollies complete. That wasn't too bad. It was, yeah, under 30 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. But if you guys did enjoy this video, I almost just did that. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.